All right, everyone. Welcome once again to our class today, where for the month of December, we are mixing some things up, doing a little bit off of the regular, because why would we not? It's the holiday season. So here we are talking all about holiday brunch today. I'm Shayna, one of the dietitians, and so happy to have you along. Okay, we're going to get started right away because we've got to get something in the oven, right? We are going to be making a cinnamon roll treat today, and we're going to be pairing it with a festive fruit salad. And then I'm going to chat about some different protein options that you guys could put with it as well. Okay. So this cinnamon roll treat, you have a couple of different options. Okay. I like to say make it your own. If you're somebody though who really likes to follow a recipe, we do have one on our Savory site, so the link for Giant and Martin's is both there. It is going to be the one that was pictured in my intro slides where the cinnamon rolls are intact. Um, I like to do it where we're going to unroll the cinnamon rolls to create our tree, but both are wonderful options, whichever one you want to do. Get the kids, get the family involved, and make this beautiful tree. Okay. So I have my oven already set at 350. We're going to go ahead and build that tree and get it in the oven. So hopefully it's done in time that we can display it with all of the other goodies that we have in store for you guys today. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and we are going to bring up our ingredients over here. Is that what you guys see? Some thumbs up? Yes, perfect. All right, let me stop that video. Okay, here we go, guys. So these are the cinnamon rolls that I am using today. They are our brand jumbo cinnamon rolls. You could just use the regular, whatever you find. They all work well. Okay. So I already opened a can of these because I don't know if you guys have opened a can of cinnamon rolls before, but it can be a struggle. And I didn't want you guys to see me struggle. Okay. Um, so let me move my camera over here for you guys a little bit. Okay, slide right over. Yep, there it is. Okay, here we go. So I have my pan here with some parchment paper. Here are our cinnamon rolls, right? I just took them out of the can, like I said. And what we're going to do is we are going to unravel them to build our tree. Okay, so I'm going to start here at the top. And I'm just going to kind of pinch this together like so to make the top of our tree. And then we're going to start pulling it around to form our tree. Don't worry that we're getting the cinnamon everywhere, right? Because it's just going to be covered up by more tree. It's okay. All right, so we just keep unraveling it there like so. So there's part of the top. Now we're going to go ahead and break one off. And we're just going to then attach it in here, okay? And keep going to make the branches of our tree. Keep going down here like that, okay? Now, if you're looking at this and you're like, Sheena, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I unwrap a perfect cinnamon roll? I would say that is completely okay, all right? Do it the other way where you can just line these up to make a tree. I don't know. I just like to do it a little different sometimes because why not? All right. So as we keep going, we just make the pieces longer and longer. Okay. Oh, that looks good there. It's kind of unwrapping for itself. Beautiful. Okay. Keep going. We have two more here. If we feel like we have more, you guys can watch me struggle as I open that can, but we'll come to that bridge when we get there. Yes? Okay. I think I'm going to turn it this way just to add a little bit of depth to it. Okay. Good. Coming along nicely. Okay. And one more. I think we're going to make it. Okay. Now, if you guys have a lot of folks that you are serving on Christmas morning, then maybe you want to pull out the second can, make this a little bigger. But I think I am going to end mine right here. You know what? I'm going to pull this in just a hair, like so. And then I'm going to bring this down to make our little tree trunk like that. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just fix. Ta-da! There we have it, guys. Okay, I'm gonna just push that a little bit more so our tree trunk is defined. And now we're gonna pop this in the oven, okay? So like I said, I have my oven at 350. This is supposed to bake for about 20 minutes. So let me wash my hands, get that in there, and then we will move on to the next part of our brunch. So we're going to talk all sorts of brunchy stuff, okay? So give me just a moment here. Hold on. I'll let you guys admire that while I rinse my hands. Okay. You see it. Now you don't. Here we go. Okay. So that is in the oven. I have it in for 20 minutes. I might check it a little bit beforehand just because since we spread it out, we might not need to have it in there as long. Okay, let's go back over to our festive fruit here. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to be doing lots of fun things with red and green over here. Let me pull my screen back up for you again so you can see what we are doing here. Okay. All right. So we have the cinnamon roll tree in the oven. Now, let's talk about what we're putting with it. Okay. We are in a dietitian class here, and I maybe should have addressed that in the beginning of like, oh my goodness, the dietitian is making cinnamon rolls. I sure am. Okay. Um, Everything in moderation, right? There's no such thing as a bad food. It's all just about how much we eat of it and what we put with it to balance it out. All right. And I love doing the cinnamon roll tree for Christmas or really any holiday. And I'll be honest, guys, I felt like I was kind of unique in that. And I was not. I did a quick Google this morning, and apparently a lot of folks make cinnamon rolls for Christmas morning. So that's awesome. I'm glad that it's a common thing and something familiar, but maybe we're just jazzing it up in another way. Okay. So, but let's talk about what we're going to be putting with it here. So I'm calling this a festive fruit salad. It is on our savory site as a honey lime fruit salad. Okay, so if you're searching for it later, that's what you're looking for, but the links are there. Now these are the ingredients. We're going to be starting with some strawberries and adding in some more red and green with kiwis, grapes, and then a bit of a sweet dressing, I will call, with honey and lime. The recipe does not call for pomegranate arils, but I'm going to add them in because why would we not, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and work on this fruit salad. All right, so we are back over at our ingredients here. And in my bowl, I already have the 4 cups of strawberries sliced. It was about 1 container of strawberries. Okay, it might have been just under 4 cups, but it's there. You could use a different type of red fruit. You know, you could use something like raspberries in here, or instead, maybe even if you wanted to do a red apple, because we are going to have some acid that could keep that apple nice and bright from the lime, whatever you want to do. But I have the 4 cups of strawberries. And then the next step is to do 3 kiwis, okay, peeled and sliced. These kiwis are beautifully green. Check them out. Aren't they lovely? Okay, so we're going to toss them in with our strawberries. Goodness, guys, look, we're already looking holly jolly back here in our fruit salad bowl. Yeah. Okay. So now we have 1 cup of grapes. Now these green grapes, they were pretty big. So I did decide to slice them, which is always a great idea if you have toddlers in the house, whether they're, yours, your grandkids, what have you. Slicing them up is always a good idea because grapes can be a choking hazard to little ones. So, and I think that it just kind of adds for a pretty different style and texture to the grapes too. So we have a cup of them, like I said, sliced, and we are popping them in. All right. Now, let's go ahead and give that a little mix. I'm going to move my cutting board over here so you guys can see better. Just want to see how evenly distributed we are with the green and the red. Oh, it's looking good. Oh, runaway grape, you're going in there. Okay, lovely. It is beautiful. Okay. So we're going to add a couple more things in here, okay? Like I said, the recipe doesn't call for this, but we're going to add some pomegranate arrows. Now, if you've been hanging out with us for the past month, a lot of us have been chatting about pomegranates in class because November was National Pomegranate Month. But I feel like pomegranates should be in December because they really just add that pop of holiday color to anything, okay? Whether it be something like a fruit salad, or you could put it on your cinnamon roll tree, putting it on a cheese ball. We have lots of recipes on our savory site using pomegranates and a lot of fun holiday ways. So definitely check that out, okay? Now, I prefer to just get the pomegranate already seeded. And when I say seeded, these are the seeds. Okay, we eat these. This is the part of the pomegranate you eat. Um, rather than having to open up the pomegranate. But I just like convenience like that. You can totally open up the pomegranate yourself. It is kind of a fun activity. Oh, see, so isn't that nice? It adds a different hue and texture of the red in there. I almost don't want to mix it up because it looks good just like that. But we're going to, okay? Because right here I have a quarter of a cup of honey, okay? So just a little note to self, before I put my honey in here, I did spray my measuring cup with a little bit of canola oil spray. It tends to help it come out a little bit better, but mine was sitting here for a little bit as I was waiting for class to start, but usually that'll pour right out, okay? Now, you guys could totally skip the step of the honey if you would rather not sweeten it up, totally okay. But I did go ahead and put that quarter of a cup in there. It's just gonna kind of marry this all together, make all of those juices pop a bit more. But like I said, you do not have to. It does smell lovely though. We are then going to jazz it up a bit more by using a lime, okay? Recipe calls just for juicing the lime, but I'm going to go ahead and do a little zesting as well, okay? Just for a bit of a pop. Now, in terms of limes, okay, whenever you get a lime that's like this, where it's a bit of a darker green color, that means that it's going to be a bit of a tartar lime, okay? If you pick up a lime in the store and it's more yellow, then it's going to be sweet. So if you kind of want to balance out the sweetness of the honey and the fruit in here, then I say go for the darker green limes. So then we can have a little bit more of an acidic tartness to it, okay? Oh, it looks good. All right, but now we're going to get some of that off of there. Now we're going to cut this open and juice it in there. So one moment here. Okay. So I'm just gonna squeeze this right in. Both slices of the lime. Okay. This is something that you could definitely make ahead of time. I feel like all of the fruits that you are putting in here are sturdy enough that if you wanted to make this Christmas Eve, so that way you don't have to worry about it Christmas morning, you could totally do that. Okay. All right. There we go. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay. All right. And we'll give this a stir to get all of those flavors together. Oh, but it looks so pretty. It does. It does. It looks so pretty. Oh, I'm excited to dig into that. If you wanted to, I feel like you could even cut these pieces up smaller. Okay, you could cut the strawberry, the kiwi, the grapes up even smaller and serve these with tortilla chips and make this like a holiday salsa. I think that that would work really well too. Okay. Note to self for next time. I feel like we need a little bit more holly jolly pomegranate on there. Beautiful. Okay. Lovely. I'm going to let that go for now. Okay. Let's bring our presentation back up while we discuss other options to go with our brunch. Okay. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about, well, here are the directions for the fruit salad. We've already talked about that, but they are in the presentation if you need them, okay? So let's talk about protein and some options that we can pair with it, but also why is it important that we're pairing protein with it? I mean, it's the holidays. We might not necessarily be thinking about nutrition so much, but if we could just hold on to one little nutrition gem throughout the season, it would be that reminder to make sure that we are incorporating protein at all of our meals and snacks. Okay. Why is that important? Two big reasons. Number one, it's going to help fill us up, which I think is definitely important during the holiday season because we tend to just want to have a little bit of everything, which is so okay. All right. We can have a little bit of everything, but to make sure we don't keep going back for more and more, let's make sure protein is present so that way we do have that stopping point to help fill us up. Okay. Also, especially this time of year where a lot of things are super sweet, you know, like cookies and whatnot, or natural sweetness like what we're doing today with the fruit salad, we need something to help balance out our blood sugar. So if you've been hanging out with us before, you know we've talked about it, but we're going to talk about it again right now. That anytime we eat a carb, whether it is a goodie like a cinnamon roll or a natural sweet goodie like fruit or milk type options, those carbohydrates have the nature to go into our bloodstream and spike our blood sugar pretty quickly, especially something like a cinnamon roll. Okay. And then what happens if we don't have a protein to go along with it? Our blood sugar goes up, and instead of stabilizing out, it drops right back down. Okay. And that can make us not feel so great. All right. We can become really tired, maybe a little bit irritable. If you actually have diabetes or some blood sugar problems, it can make us feel not well at all. So we really want to make sure that protein is there. Also, if you are in that pre-diabetic range and you keep having those up and down spikes of your blood sugar, that is what is going to put you at risk for your A1C number to climb higher. So that's something that, you know, this diagnostic for diabetes, we want to make sure that that number doesn't keep going up. So to help prevent that, let's have that protein there to stabilize it out. So if we eat what we're making today and pair protein with it, the hope is that they do reach your bloodstream, your blood sugar, but then they even out and stay stable instead of up and down. So what are my suggestions to be adding along with our holiday brunch today? Here are some of my favorites. Top left corner there, point out milk. Yes, it is a carbohydrate, but it is also a protein. It's actually the perfect little bundle, okay? So don't forget about milk. It's not just for Santa. We can be having it on Christmas morning as well. So having milk on the table could be a great idea. Underneath that is what I have cooked up to put with ours today. This is a favorite in my house, bacon. Where is it not a favorite? But I love our brand lower sodium bacon. And you're probably like, yeah, you love it because you're a dietitian and it's lower sodium. No, I love it because it's good. And I'm not just saying that. Okay. It's my favorite bacon to buy. I just feel like it cooks up really nicely. I'm a crispy bacon kind of gal. So that is my big recommendation. To the right of that, eggs, always a great option. Above that, our Nature's Promise chicken sausage. We have it in a ton of flavors, but for breakfast time, I definitely would recommend checking out the sweet apple. Slicing that up to go along with this can be lovely. Or some cheese. Okay, yes, we do want to do cheese in moderation, but it does have a place. And I think that it can work really well with this breakfast, especially with the fruit. My new favorite that I've kind of been stumbling upon are these Gouda cheese cubes. They are Gouda good, okay? Definitely give those a try. I've always been a Colby Jack fan, but these are up there now, okay? So these will be lovely to pair with the tree. Okay, I'm looking at my timer here. We're good on time. So these would be some good options, like I said, to have in the way of protein. So let's now take a breather and we're gonna start plating these things. Okay, so you can see how it all comes together while we wait for our tree to come out of the oven. So I am going to stop sharing my screen there. And we will turn this video off and go back to our ingredients here. Just a moment so I can pull that up. Okay, now that should be there for you. All right, so you can totally just have all of this stuff on the table, be good to go and set. Me, I'm all about presentation. Why? I don't know. It's just what I do. It's like why we had Christmas music at the beginning of class, okay? So let's talk about some ways that you can do that here in a fun way. So I highly encourage you to check out the seasonal department in our stores. Every holiday, check it out because we have such cool stuff. Okay, so here is a really neat tray that I picked up from the seasonal department. Okay, they have it in a bunch of different patterns, but for some reason this one just kind of called to me. So I'm going to put my bowl there. Now I think you also have room here to then put some drinks. So here is a fun cup, also from the seasonal section. It has the tree branches on it there. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so we'll put that there. You know, put your milk in there, put your orange juice in there, or if you're someone who likes a little coffee or hot chocolate, how darling is this? It's Marty dressed up like a Christmas tree. Oh, I love it. So fun, so cute. We'll put that there. And like I said, can fill it up with whatever. You could actually put beverages on here so people could serve themselves, however you want to do it. But we have that there, okay? And now another really neat tray from our stores. Right here, here's my bacon, okay? It matches with this, the plaid. We got all of that going on, okay? And you might be like, when am I going to use these things again? Trust me, you will, okay? This morning, my daughter had a 2 hour delay. I have one of these back here that has like cute penguins and Santa Clauses on, and I made her breakfast on there because why not? You have a 2 hour delay. Let's have fun, okay? Making those special little moments, I think can be very, very memorable, all right? Um, let me just pull up this camera here again so it's not just my food talking to you, but yeah, do those extra little special things if you feel into it and up to that. You know, holiday brunch is something that I will always remember in my house growing up. My mom and my grandma would always make eggs benedict. That was the thing. And mimosas. So that was our Christmas morning all of the time. So doing something like this can just add that extra special feel. I know my mom always had Christmas dishes and it was just always a thing. Okay. And it just made it a bit more fun. Our cinnamon roll tree is almost done and ready to come out of the oven. So while we wait just for a moment here, let's wrap it up with a poll question here. Oh no, my polls didn't save. How silly. Okay, let's see if I can make one real quick and show it to you guys. We'll do it real fast here. All right, it's a Christmas tree question. All right, and then I'll see if I can post it to you guys. These aren't going to look as lovely as they usually do, but here we go. Do and launch. Which team are you? Okay, which team are you on when it comes to your Christmas tree? Are you on team real tree or team fake tree? Okay, take a moment to answer that. I'm gonna get my stuff out of the oven here. Okay, guys. And share the results. What do we got? A lot of you are on Team Fake Tree. And guys, I am too, okay? I feel yeah, that's where I am as well. I love the idea of a real tree, but I also love the idea of putting it up super early. Um, so sometimes you need a fig tree for that. We actually have three trees in our house. Um, okay, let me come back to our ingredients here. Um, the cinnamon roll tree is done. I'm gonna bring it over. I'm gonna show you guys here. Okay, come over to the tree. Look how fun and pretty that is. Yeah? Okay. So we're gonna be a little extra because we have been all morning. Yeah. I'm gonna take this off of here and put it on one more tray. So give me a second to do that. Where's the other tray? Okay, here's the other tray from our stores, the seasonal section. So I'm just making sure that I pick things up with hot pads here because I could probably burn myself. Okay, do this. Let's put this here. All right, now, okay, coming over. We could just lay this on here with the paper, but we're gonna slide. Oh, it just slides right off. Look at that. Ta-da. Okay, and then we have our whole display of food. Yeah, and it's super fun. We'll go like this. We'll go like this. And then we'll go like this so you guys can see it all. Yeah? Okay. All right, everyone. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let me pull my video back up here one more time. All right. We're going to share my screen, finish out our presentation. But if you enjoyed today and you're new, maybe you don't know about some of the classes we have ahead for this week. Tomorrow, Joni will be with us doing some DIY gifting or do-it-yourself gifting. She's going to be making scones in a jar, so that's going to be super fun. And then on Friday, Jenna will be back for Feature Friday, where she's going to be talking all about kashi. And throughout the month of December, we're going to be sprinkling kashi in to some different recipes. So head there on Friday. Well, I say head there. It's online, virtual like this, but hang out with Jenna on Friday so you can learn all about that and then the classes that we're going to be using that in. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you had a great time. I know I did. Please let me know if you make any of these things. Send me pictures on Christmas Day or afterwards. I would love to see them. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and week. I'll be back next week, so I will see you then. At this point in time, I'm going to stop our recording and check out our Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in there. If not, you're welcome to leave as well. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.